Now, there has been a lot of talk in the last few days about multiple AEW stars asking for their releases. I know Miro was one name thrown around, and there is no legitimate reporting to back up that claim. But the one name where there does appear to be smoke to the fire is Malakai Black. Raj Giri of Wrestling Inc. said that Black cited personal issues and his mental health as reasons for wanting out. And the way that he's been presented in AEW has also been weighing on him, but thus far, Tony Khan has not granted him his release. Only a few months ago, Tony Khan was on Busted Open Radio openly talking about Malakai Black and Adam Cole each being signed to 5-year deals. So he's under contract for a long time yet, right? He's got about 4 years left on a 5-year deal. Mike Johnson of PW Insider said that in speaking with sources close to Malakai, there has been a personal situation of some kind weighing heavily on him, and he has privately discussed taking a long, possibly even permanent break from pro wrestling to deal with those issues. Now, whatever the personal issue is, that has to take priority over pro wrestling. So I hope everything works out okay on that front. You know, you hear something like that, you think, oh my God, maybe there's a sick family member, maybe it's a health issue. I don't know, and frankly, it's none of my business, but whatever it is, I hope everything works out okay. Physically, he worked the House of Glory show last weekend. He looked fine. He's in a 6-man tag team match tonight against Sting and Darby and Miro. So I haven't seen him do any kind of singles match, probably since the All-Atlantic 4-Way back at Forbidden Door, which was, over 2 months ago. But physically, he seems to be doing a lot better. I know he had the back issue. He thought that might be the end of his career. That's how bad of a back issue he's been dealing with up until about 3 months ago. But he's been doing better recently. The idea of him being less than enthused with the way that he's been booked in AEW, that doesn't surprise me at all, if that's true. I've been critical of how the House of Black has been used, but I also don't know how much of that had to do with the back injury that he was dealing with. How little we have seen him used on television in recent months, that could be a big part of it for all we know. They had something special with him after he beat Cody Rhodes, coming out of the Cody feud, and they never capitalized on it. They never took it to the max the way that they could have. All of the additional talent that Tony Khan brought in has only further, reduced the amount of TV time that he's been given. As much as I like the House of Black idea, I said it when they first formed. You guys remember. The one big negative will be if Tony Khan stops using him as a single, and we really only get to see him in tag team matches or trios matches, and that is exactly what's happened. That's exactly what I did not want to see happen. Now again, maybe the back issue had something to do with that. Until he posted about it, I had no idea that it almost caused him to retire. But, Black is a very creative guy, very similar to the things you hear said about Bray Wyatt. He has to be frustrated with how things have gone so far. But if he has spent much of the past 6 months to a year nursing a bad back, and that's why he really hasn't been used much, and now he wants a release, it's a tricky thing for AEW. I can understand both sides of it. Him wanting out and Tony Khan saying no. The difference with someone like Mustafa Ali, for example, asking for his WWE release and being denied, is that WWE was cutting people left and right. They were cutting so many people we lost count after a while, all the mass releases last year. And it was very clear that they had no real plans for him, and yet they said no. They said no out of spite. Pure spite. Brody Lee, asking for his release and having to wait a year before they finally gave it to him. And for what? They had already given up on the guy. Vince McMahon gave up on him. He soured on him. I do think that in certain situations, if one side is completely miserable coming to work and wants out, and if the company has no intention of using them in any meaningful way, or they've tried to push them, and whether it was their fault or the talent's fault, they gave up on them, it didn't work out, then contract or not, there's no reason to belabor things. If you can come to some sort of mutual agreement and let the person go and be happy, then do it. Because nobody is going to be happy in that situation. And you got 3 years or 4 years left on your deal. I mean, what the fuck is the point? I think Tony Khan does see value in Malakai Black, but he should be used better. He should be featured more consistently on the shows. It's been a little bit better lately. House of Black has been feuding with Sting and Darby and Miro. I think Malakai should pin Sting tonight, like I said before, and win the match for the House of Black. Really make a statement by becoming the first man to pin Sting's shoulders to the mat in an AEW ring. Unless he really wants out that badly. And then I think the two sides need to sit down and work something out. According to Fightful, people in the company said that Black has not been happy, but they thought the situation had been somewhat smoothed over. I hope that's the case. And then there was one. The last time we saw Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, and Bobby Fish together on Dynamite was August 3rd when they attacked the Young Bucks. It looked like we were finally building to Cole and Red Dragon against the Elite, especially with Kenny Omega coming back. They could still do a Kenny Omega-Adam Cole match, but they're going to have to do it without Red Dragon. Kyle O'Reilly posted an image of himself in a hospital bed on Thursday night on his Instagram, indicating that he underwent neck fusion surgery, which if that's what it was, means that we're not going to be seeing him for a very long time. And meanwhile, his partner, Bobby Fish, has swam away from AEW. He is gone altogether. How much fish can Bobby Fish fry if Bobby Fish could fry fish? Well, he's going to have plenty of free time to find out now and try it and see. The two sides could not come to terms on a new deal, and his current deal expired on Wednesday. So he is a free agent. He can go wherever he wants. He can do whatever he wants, although the door is set to still be open for the two sides to possibly come to an agreement later on. He talked recently about an incident with him and Dax Harwood. They got into it about something. He didn't say what. And I'm not sure how far back this incident goes. It could be 6 months ago for all I know. But there was some incident between them. He said even though there would still be animosity and conflict between them if they worked together, they would be professional about it. So I don't think that had anything to do with him leaving. You know, when he came to AEW last year, he was floundering. And I swear I didn't use that word on purpose in that context. Oh, that's almost as good as my Kaiser roll joke on the SmackDown stream the other night, which I'm so proud of. But no, I mean, he was floundering until they brought Kyle O'Reilly in. You know, and that's what I wanted to see. I didn't give a shit about Bobby Fish, the solo act. I wanted to see Red Dragon back together, going after the tag team titles. He also said recently in an interview that he would go to war for Triple H 7 days a week. He really put Triple H over as a boss. And with Triple H bringing back so many black and gold talents, I could see him going back there. But to do what? To coach? If they use him in the ring, it's not going to be for anything other than putting over the younger NXT talents. I mean, maybe they could tie him in with Roddy and the Diamond Mine stuff, but there isn't much else for him to do. Bobby Fish on his own is not going to be somebody pushed in any real way. The Cole story could be interesting, though, if they position it as Adam Cole, you know, his friends are all gone, and he finds himself all alone because he already went and betrayed the Young Bucks. So they could tell that story. You know, Cole's been out hurt for a while. He is expected back soon, though.